If you're someone that wants to start investing your money today and you have no idea how to start, this video is just for you. I've come up with a list of a few steps that's going to help you start investing today. Don't worry, you don't need a ton of money to get started, especially with the steps I'll be sharing with you in this video. Hey, my name is Sebastian Friedman, and just a few short years ago, I had absolutely no idea how to invest my money or where to even begin. I found myself watching countless hours of YouTube videos and learning as much as I could and as fast as I could so that I could begin investing my money. Like I said, I was a broke college student, so I completely understand how little you may have to work with or how challenging it may be to get started investing some money at all. We're all in this together. I hope this video is going to help you out. The first step everyone should take before you begin investing is coming up with an emergency fund. Ideally, you want to have about 3 to 6 months worth of expenses in this account and you don't want to touch it. It's there for emergencies, hence the name emergency fund. And right now, lucky for us, interest rates and high yield savings accounts are extremely good. Personally, my account, I get about a 4.3% APY, which is outstanding. Now you may be thinking an emergency fund is not investing, and you're absolutely correct. However, it's a crucial step that you got to take before you start investing your money. In terms of how many months of expenses you keep in this account, it really comes down to your personal level of comfort and confidence that you'd be able to find a new job in case that you lose your job or your income goes away. Now, before we begin investing our money, I want to talk about something that a lot of people neglect to discuss, especially online when talking about beginning investing, and that is the need for income. You need a greater amount of income than your expenses in order to invest. Personally, I invest for the long term, so I set it and forget it. All of these steps today are going to be geared towards long-term investing. That's what I personally do. Now that you're all set with your emergency fund, let's get into the first investment account. Step 2 on my list is going to be a 401k retirement account. This is an employer-sponsored retirement account where you contribute pre-tax earnings to this account. One of the great benefits of a 401k account is an employer match. Make sure you contribute enough to obtain the full employer match available to you from your employer. They're essentially giving you free money. Once your contributions to your 401k are taken out of your paycheck pre-tax, you can then allocate those funds into a variety of investment options. I'll go over some of my favorites later in the video. This is a retirement account. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, I invest for the long term. So that's going to dictate the investment options that you choose to put your money into within this account. All right, moving on to step 3 on my list, we have my favorite, the Roth IRA. Roth IRA stands for Individual Retirement Account. Now this is another tax advantage retirement account. However, it's going to differ a little bit from a 401k. In a Roth IRA, you contribute post-tax earnings to this account. And for 2024, for those of us 50 and younger, the maximum contributions are $7,000. The greatest benefit of a Roth IRA is that you're not required to pay any taxes on gains and withdrawals made after the age of 59 and a half. Like I said, for 2024, you contribute up to $7,000 if you're under the age of 50. There's also some other income and contribution limits. Essentially, if you make too much money, you can only contribute a portion of that $7,000 or none at all if you make too much. I would highly recommend going to your brokerage of choice's website. They have all the income and contribution information that you may need on their sites. A Roth IRA allows everyday people like you and me to become tax-free millionaires. I'm going to show you how. If you divide out the maximum yearly contribution, which is $7,000, you get $583.33. After 40 years, assuming an average rate of return of 10%, you end up with over $3.1 million completely tax-free. And the best part, that's only in your Roth IRA, not including your 401k if you followed step number 2. While we're young, we have the luxury of time. You might as well take advantage of it and the compound interest that comes with it. Now that you're done funding your retirement accounts, let's move on to step number 4. Alright, step number 4 is going to be a standard brokerage account. Unlike the 401k and Roth IRA, this is not a tax advantage account. A standard brokerage account, however, is going to offer you the most flexibility with no contribution limits. In a standard brokerage account, any capital gains are going to be considered taxable income. Alright, now that I've gone over a 401k, a Roth IRA, and a standard brokerage account, let's discuss what I would put my money into within these accounts. The first option I would heavily recommend that you go with is some sort of mutual fund or index fund, one that's going to be highly diversified, has a great history and track record with a low expense ratio. Some popular options are going to be Schwab's S&P 500 Index Fund, SWPPX, and Vanguard's S&P 500 Index Fund, VFIX. Both have a great history and track record with low expense ratios. Moving on to the second category of investment options I would strongly recommend that you go with, we have ETFs or exchange traded funds. Again, find some that have a good history and track record with minimal expense ratios. A few popular ETFs are VOO, which is Vanguard's 500 Index Fund ETF, and VTI, which is the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund ETF. Like I mentioned before, when you're first starting out, less is more, simple and boring is the best approach. You only need to put your money into a few different funds. Pick which ones you like the best, and the most important thing to do is commit to consistently contributing to your accounts and increasing those positions. I hope you found this video helpful. It's truly my goal and purpose with this channel to help you out because not long ago, I was right in your shoes. We're all in this together. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with my list.